You're welcome. Back by popular demand.
Yeah. People have been demanding you come back to the show.
Hey, everybody.
Because they don't know. So what's the plans? So people don't know and they're anticipating, beyond repair, demanding. Downloads all the time, even though we haven't put out a new episode in quite a while. What's the deal?
I have to speak with my producer about that because I don't know how to press the buttons.
Sure.
Everyone thinks that I do. I do not.
Yeah. You're too busy cooking.
I am totally the eye candy of this podcast.
Right. That's true.
Yes, and I'm cooking and cleaning.
Yeah, too busy cooking and organizing Thanksgiving. So
I'm scrapbooking.
But soon, right? We're having new episodes soon?
I think so.
Relatively soon?
And
Beginning of the year?
I'm calling out a handful of people like Amy Ward-Smith, Sam Buente, Kana Brown. I've got a list of really cool people. I have a bunch of dudes that want to be on the show. I don't know if they want to mansplain or it's just because they want to be with me in the same room.
Well, I know
which is fine, too.
I know one that wants to just be on every podcast that is in existence, so that's his goal.
Is that Corey?
No, that's DeAndre.
DeAndre?
Yeah.
I hope to have him as well. Charles Sutton. I want him on the show. So it's going to be a very interesting
I think he may be too
season.
highbrow for what we were trying to accomplish in this whole network.
But see, that's the thing is we don't want anyone to know what we're trying to accomplish. So we've got to throw in people like Charles.
Sure, yeah.
To class the joint up a little bit.
I'll say progress report. We've almost got Mary Ellen's name wiped off this table. So I'm pretty...
A few more Clorox wipes, and we'll have to invite her back.
Very soon. No. It'll work itself out. Yeah, so I brought you out here tonight because yesterday was such a smashing success.
People probably have no idea, though. We spoke for like an hour last night, and none of it was really good.
Yeah.
We went for a good half an hour talking about Trump. We talked about Small Business Saturday. Whoops.
Small Business Friday, not as big.
It wasn't as popular. We tried that once.
They're all closed. It turns out.
So, yeah, we talked for a long time, but I guess neither one of us was really feeling it. Plus, I don't know. Half of me wants to push people's buttons, and then half of me just doesn't want to deal with the consequences of it. So I'd rather not ever rock the boat. So that was part of why I was like, let's not air any of those things that I just said. Well, it might be considered controversial.
I mean, there's enough of that. If you want that, that's easily found.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd rather put stuff out that's not easily found, like, your favorite color, which mystery solved.
Everyone knows is purple.
Well.
Whoa.
Hey, that is breaking news because contrary to previous episode, that was a different color. Check that out.
Just wait till the next episode.
Check local listings for colors in your area.
A little, what's coming up on the next episode? Turquoise.
Ooh. Welcome to Turquoise Talk. Now, one thing I would like to talk about that I've heard on other podcasts is a last meal kind of situation. But I want to make this specific since we are the Evansville podcast. Specific to Evansville. So this is either... Perhaps you're departing Evansville for some reason. We're kicking you out. You're moving away. You're dying.
No, that's a big difference between dying and leaving.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, and maybe you can have both. We have plenty of airtime for that. But
because if I were dying,
yeah,
I would probably go to Thai cuisine.
Ooh.
See, the thing is, though, as much as I love them, I can get Thai food where I move. It might not be as good, but it's possible that I can still find some Thai food. But that's probably what I would go for if, like, this is my last meal on Earth. But if I'm leaving Evansville and I can't come back, I would really love to spend a good hour or so hanging out with Pizza Revolution. And because as much as I love their food, I would really want to just spend the time with the Peck and Paws, eat their food, and chat it up for a little while before I took off, because I'm not ever going to find anything quite like that if I leave the city.
Yeah, I didn't, I hadn't thought about food trucks for some reason when I was thinking about this.
Maybe they'll come with me.
Yeah, they're mobile. They can travel. Maybe you're moving to Owensboro. We don't know.
Yeah, which is tricky because I really thought hard about the Pangea pistachio pizza, but you can't replace the people, and so I would have to go with my buds at Peck and Paw. They've meant a lot to me in the last few years.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
They've given me a lot of free pizza. I've got to work with them a few times, so it's
interesting. Now, for consideration of just moving away, I'll take a separate path like you did with the moving versus dying. If I'm moving away, I'm probably going to pick Toroni's, and it's not necessarily my favorite pizza ever. But there's something about it that makes me think Evansville, and we got Toroni's recently, and just the smell of it, I'm like, that smells to me like Evansville food. And when Luke he had snuck a piece, apparently he came upstairs and I'm like, did you just eat pizza? And he's like, yeah, how did you know? Like, you smell like Toroni's. It's pretty obvious. There's just something about the way that the sauce, the crust, the toppings, just the combination, it just feels like Evansville. And I would be like, if this is my last grasp of Evansville, I'll probably go Toroni's.
I get it. And the longevity, the reputation, and that kind of stuff that goes along with it that they've managed to build. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, and if I'm going last meal, I want something really good that I know is going to be good. And I'm tempted to go steak, but steak can go. I mean, if I were going to pick steak, it'd be Smitty's probably. And that's because I haven't had. I know the House of Como people will be coming at me, but I haven't had it yet, and that's on me. Maybe this Christmas somebody will give us a gift card and we'll go. But Smitty's, as of right now, Smitty's is the best steak I've had in town. But I think I'm going for Los Bravos.
I get it.
The number 50, it's so consistent. No matter which Los Bravos I go to, I have so rarely had one that was under par, which even still was good.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. If I were leaving, I would want to go there and shake the hands of all of the servers, the owners, and say thanks for every week coming in.
How do you carry all of those things on your arm?
And be consistent? And I mean, there's never an
it's
issue.
Always great service. It's always. I mean, Los Bravos is. I mean, I know there's better traditional maybe Mexican food. A lot of people argue with that, like La Camparana or something. But for me,
the total package
of this quality of service, quality of food. It's always hot. I mean, it's super hot, but it's like perfect.
Story.
It's local. It's everything. I'll probably pick number 50, Pollo Juarez. Shout out to Los Bravos for killing it for how many years? 20 years?
I don't
know. It's been like, I remember that time that the Collinses, shout out to Sean and Angela, who are no longer in town, but they were the ones that introduced us to Los Bravos, and they brought us the number 50 specifically and said, this is the thing, and they were right.
And we've had it almost every week since then, so it's...
Yeah, and that was...
I get it.
Had to be at least 15 years ago. And honestly, at least 15.
Yeah.
So however long that they've been here. Yeah. So shout out to them, and if you haven't had the number 50 with the magic cheese, it's worth trying.
If you eat at Hacienda regularly... Shame.
So here's the thing. I occasionally have a Hacienda craving, and I really don't have a Hacienda friend.
Because you're from Princeton.
No, it's not. That is not it. That is not it at all, actually. And it's not, I'm like, I know this isn't Mexican food. This is Tex-Mex at best, but it's not even that probably. But there's something about, there's a certain thing with the Hacienda. It's fine.
Perverted version.
And people are fine for eating. I mean, there's a certain quality, like the chimichanga. The chicken chimichanga at Hacienda on certain days, which is probably their specialty days, because they've conditioned me over years. I'll crave it, and I don't. If anyone out there that is a Hacienda person, please hit me up, because I need a lunch buddy here coming up. Because the other day
if you like dipping your Tostitos in ketchup, let's go to Hacienda.
I had a Hacienda craving, and I couldn't go. I'm not going by myself. That's weird.
What?
I did that once when you were out of town. You and the kids were out, and it was Optimal Rhythms had a give back day. And
you went by yourself.
So I went by myself. I had a book. I was reading the book. I was eating the chips and sauce. They know it's not salsa.
They don't call it salsa.
They don't call it salsa. They call it sauce. So they know.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But yeah, I went there. And because I was like, okay, this is for good cause. I'll do that. I'll get the chimichanga, the chicken chimichanga. It's salty enough. It hits the spot on occasion. It's cheesy and it's chicken. I mean, you can't go wrong. I just know mentally this is not Mexican food. If you think you're going to Hacienda for Mexican food, that's where you may be in error. So,
speaking of eating by yourself,
yeah.
What's the deal with that? Why can't people do that?
It's awkward. It's like going to the movies by yourself. It should be fine. It should be absolutely fine, but it's just weird because we have that social stigma where you're like, oh, why is that guy by himself?
Well, I've traveled a lot where I've had to eat by myself, and I've enjoyed just chilling with the waiters at some of the places that I've gone to.
You mean waitresses, right? You're not talking to any guys.
Yeah.
Outside
Whatever. The
area.
people, the servers, the food servers, whatever. It's nice to strike up a conversation with them. And
do they call you
recommend things? And
hun or honey or sweetie? Because that throws me every time.
Sometimes women will, which is fine. Dudes know better at this point because then they will be called out on Twitter or Facebook or whatever.
Well, there's that.
But yeah, a couple times. But really, it's been nice. Sometimes I think you just... I guess if you live by yourself, I can understand why you wouldn't want to do that. But if you live with people, sometimes it's nice to just not have them with you.
Good job, everybody.